everyone. It is so nice to see all of you here in the back room. We are so pleased that you are here with us this evening. There's so many people here tonight, and we're so grateful for you to be here to meet all of these amazing authors. I mean, look at this lineup. It is absolutely sensational in the best use of sensational. I am your host for this evening, Hank Philippi Ryan. So nice to hear you all tonight. I'm the USA Today best-selling author of 13 novels of suspense, the newest one, Her Perfect Life So Casually, it's this way, displayed behind me, was just nominated for the Agatha Award for Best Contemporary Novel of the Year. Oh, thank you guys, thank you, thank you. So very happy about that. Our first author tonight is Alafair Burke. Alafair, hi. Alafair is the New York Times and USA Today best-selling Edgar-nominated author of 14 crime novels, published in more than 20 languages. Her books have been featured on Best Book lists from the Today Show, Entertainment Weekly, People, Oprah, and Peepra, and everybody. I mean, everybody. You list it, it's on the list. She also co-authored 6 novels with Mary Higgins Clark. A former prosecutor, she now teaches criminal law and procedure and lives in New York. And her newest book is Find Me. Do you have a copy there to hold up?
I do. You told me to have it this time.
Okay, very good, very good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lisa Gardner is a #1 New York Times bestselling thriller novelist. A self-described research junkie, she has transformed her interest in police procedural and criminal minds into a streak of internationally acclaimed novels published across 30 countries. She's also had 4 books become TV movies. Lisa lives in New Hampshire, where she spends her time with an assortment of canine companions. Her newest book is One Step Too Far, which you see not only behind her, but on today's New York Times bestseller list.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have right here as proof. Would you like me to send you this? Do you need another copy? Happy
She bought all of them.
Congratulations. I want you to look at the chat. People are just screaming congratulations at you. Award-winning author Cheryl J. Head lives in Washington, D.C. Welcome, Cheryl. Hi. Where she writes the award-winning Charlie Mack Motown mystery series set in Detroit, featuring a queer female African-American private eye. Cheryl is vice chair of BoucherCon and a member of Sisters in Crime, Mystery Writers of America, and Crime Writers of Color. Her newest book is Warn Me When It's Time. Her next novel, oh good, hold that up, show it. Her next novel, Time's Undoing, about a 90-year-old unsolved police shooting in Birmingham, Alabama, is based on her family's true story and will be published by Dutton in 2023. So come back here for that.
We'll do.
Boyd Morrison is the New York Times #1 bestselling author of 12 thrillers, including 6 collaborations with Clive Cussler in the Oregon Files adventure series. His first novel, The Ark, was an Indie Next notable pick and has been translated into more than a dozen languages. Boyd, and this will give you a lot to talk to him about in your breakout room. Boyd is also a professional actor, appearing in films, commercials, and stage plays. In 2003, he fulfilled a lifelong dream and became a Jeopardy champion. I mean, drop the mic, drop the mic. He currently lives in Seattle with his wife. His new book coming in May is The Lawless Land.
And so, I do not even have a copy of the book yet, but I printed out the cover.
Oh, you're good, you're good.
Ooh,
when does that take place?
It takes place in the 14th century in the aftermath of the Black Death.
Wow.
You're fun.
So it's a post-pandemic novel.
Wow. And it shows you that even after that, we persevere, right? So it's,
yes.
It's inspirational. It's inspirational. So welcome to all of you. And as always, we will start with our not quite 20 questions. And I will ask you in the order I see you. A not too hard question, but a little thought-provoking. Let me see. Alafair, you're first. What is the first thing you remember writing?
Oh, I mean, other than like scribbling, the first work, I actually still have a copy of, and it is called Murder at a Roller Disco. and it was set at the roller rink where I spent most of my weekends as a child. And I think the first sentence might like actually be, it was a dark and stormy night.
No.
It definitely started with a picture, like something about the weather, and the main character's name was like Blondie Blonstead or something like that. At one point I had it up on my website. I should repost it. I'll get it around to, but yeah, it was very noir. Yeah.
It was very noir. Oh, because it was dark and stormy. Inside
No,
the
but
roller.
it was like a very like gritty detective, like shows up grizzled to solve the murder at the roller rink, and everybody I knew that hung out at the roller rink was a character.
How old?
And peak Alafair Burke, it says at the top, I typed on my dad's typewriter, and then I wrote my name in the corner, and it said extra credit on it. No one even told me to write it.
You know,
I'm
an
insufferable grade. I'm an insufferable grade grubber.
You know, I wonder if we asked all of us if we were, I bet we'd all kind of be. Okay, Boyd, this is just the question on the thing. Are you a good singer?
Am I a good singer? I used to be. I won the Glee Club award in high school. But I had a surgery on my neck about 20 years ago that cut the nerve to the left side of my vocal cords. So half of my vocal cords are paralyzed. So I still do karaoke, but it's not a pleasant experience for anyone there.
Well, we should sing together because I'm a terrible singer as well. You can't even recognize when I sing something what the song is. When my family sings Happy Birthday together, you don't even know what the song, you don't even know. So the Glee Club, what you said?
The Glee Club award. I was big in the Glee Club. I did musicals in high school and all that stuff. So I loved singing. It's just I can't really do it anymore.
There's not much call for it, actually. What was your big role?
I played Henry Higgins in The Music Man.
I'm seeing a good nerd trend here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Fair Lady. That was my last musical I ever did.
You were Henry Higgins?
Yeah.
I'd love to see. Would you guys love to see?
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
I'd love to see that.
All right, Lisa, you're next. Where is the farthest you've ever traveled? It's right here on the card.
Antarctica. Easy breezy.
And that was just recently, right?
Yes, that was in November. I went on a grand tour of penguins and it was totally worth it. I have 3,000 favorite photos now. I'm trying to scrap them.
Well, we've seen them on Facebook. You all have to go to Lisa's Facebook page. The penguins are amazing. What was it, just life-changing?
It was just mesmerizing. It was surreal. I mean, from playing with penguins, they come right up to you. They don't have any predators on land. So they mostly think people are weird, but they'll go running right by you, doing their thing. And then, kayaking with glaciers, you just had these moments where you're just like, I can't believe this is my day.
Was it still? Was it peaceful?
No, it's very windy. It's actually, it was so very, very breezy to say the least. We got terribly windburned and sunburned.
But you got penguins.
Yeah, totally worth it.
Cheryl, you're next. What was your favorite book as a kid?
Okay, so in the nerd category, my favorite book as a kid was The Odyssey by Homer. I think like 9 or 10, I picked it up. And just fascinated by the journey and wanted to be there. And I kind of gravitated to the boys' adventure stories. So I read Nancy Drew, but I like Hardy Boys better. But when I found out about Odysseus, oh man, it was on.
Do you remember who gave it to you?
My dad had a second job working as a landscaper for a millionaire in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. And his family would sometimes send him home with boxes of books and boxes of at that time, records. Yeah. So I could go through I read a lot of inappropriate stuff at 9, 10, 11, but that book was in there and I read that one. That's where I got it.
You know what, I'm not going to ask
the next
question. It is amazing because it's very sweet. And I agree. And it shows that you just never know where inspiration will come from.
My parents probably should have monitored the box a little more, though. I will say that.
quickly first, we just want to hear what you authors are reading. And we had asked you to think of or bring or tell us a book that you hope that we all will read. So Boyd, we'll start with you. What are you recommending?
I recommended Andy Weir's Project Hail Mary. It is by the author who wrote The Martian, and it's another tale of an astronaut being isolated, but with a really great twist on it. It starts as a mystery. He doesn't know why he's in space, what he's doing there, and so he's finding out what his mission is along with the reader, and it's very well done.
Well, you know about NASA and space. You're an engineer. Is it technically right?
Yeah, in fact, I worked at Johnson Space Center for a couple of years, and he is very good about getting the technical aspects exactly right.
That's great. Looking forward to that. Lisa, what are you recommending?
All right. So I recommended, they're hard to look at on the phone. There we go. S.A. Cosby's Razorblade Tears. It's been a big breakout hit and I really loved it. It's very Elmore Leonard in that it's dark, it's edgy. You have ex-cons as the main characters, kind of marginalized members of society. But on the other hand, these are two fathers, trying to get justice for their murdered gay sons, even though both fathers were estranged from their sons because they couldn't handle the fact that they were gay. And so a lot of it is that kind of internal reckoning for them. So, there's massive amounts of violence going on, but it's a curiously very touching book too, because it's their journey. It has like one of my all-time favorite lines, like, is it wrong of them to mourn so hard when they love their sons so poorly? And I mean, that's a great question that they're struggling with for the whole book. So it's very personable.
People are just cheering your selection.
So good.
Great book and very touching, says Cheryl. And Drew Ann says great line. Peggy says great book. Paula says so. Everybody's loving these suggestions. Cheryl, what book are you recommending?
I am recommending this book. Let's see if my Kindle will turn. Hush Hush by Gabriel Valjean. It's his latest book in the Sean Cleary mysteries. And what I like about this book is Sean is the protagonist that I wouldn't think I'd like. He's very kind of Raymond Chandler-esque kind of a character, but he's really smart. He's really connected to the people around him. It's a historical setting set in 1970s Boston, Elizabeth Elo, and it's built around a true crime story. And Gabriel does such a great job of bringing in these secondary and tertiary characters that are so memorable. And at the end of the book, he spends some time giving historical context to the characters and to the times in Boston and the world around us in the mid-70s. It's really well done and highly recommended.
Terrific, thank you. Yes, I don't remember that. I wasn't in Boston yet at the time, but that is still a big story. Yeah. So I can't wait to read that. Alafair, what about you?
I'm recommending, I don't have the real book because it's not out yet, but it'll be out in 4 weeks. Like a Sister by Kelly Garrett is out March 8th, something like 4 weeks. And the main character has a half sister that she's semi-estranged from, and it's sort of this difficult relationship they've had. And while they're sort of on a break, her half sister is found dead, and she has her regrets about that relationship. And while she's mourning her, she's also feels a sense of duty to her to make sure that her investigation, the death into her investigation, is treated properly. And then there are lots of things that happen. And it's kind of the best kind of book because I love books about sisters. One of my favorite books that I wrote was about sisters, and I have sisters as well. And those relationships can be so complicated and loving, but also messy, and a fine line sometimes between love and tension. And it's also a really good mystery, but Kelly also is just like, she writes with humor at the same time. And that can be a hard balance, to write, that it's a serious topic and somebody's dead, but then she'll say something that just literally will make me laugh out loud. So I highly recommend it. It's a really fun read, and it's getting tons of attention. Very, very buzzy. So I think it'll be the book everybody will be one of the books that people will be talking about in March.
Wasn't that fun? We hope you enjoyed that taste of what a backroom session is like. But more fun comes immediately afterward. That's when the audience is broken up into 4 breakout rooms, and each author in turn visits each room. We'd love to show you what a breakout session is like, because those relaxed face-to-face conversations between best-selling authors and readers are the hallmark of backroom events. But breakout sessions are never recorded, because what's said in the back room stays in the back room.